Hello everyone, welcome back to PLC Automation, and this is Joffer. And in today's video we are going to go deeper about the Ladder Logic and SCL programming language. So when we talk about the differences between the Ladder Logic and SCL, okay, uh, they are both programming language, two of the most commonly used language uh, in industrial automation or in PLC programming. So in common language, when we are talking about programming, two of the most used languages are Ladder Logic and SCL. Also, SCL known also as a struct control language. Both languages can control the same machine and achieve the same result, but they differ greatly in how you think, how you write logic, and where they are best used, right? The ladder logic, it's more for electrical thinking, like for example an electrician. So it's let me open the ladder logic function block. So when you turn on the start this button, the motor has to be on, right? The ladder logic is based on electrical relays diagram. It was designed so that electricians and technicians could understand PLC program without needing a background in software development. And ladder logic is visual. You see contacts, coils, timers, and counters laid out from the left to the right? This makes it very easy to follow the signals flow and to troubleshoot problems online while the machine is running, right? Uh, Typical strength of the ladder logic, very readable for maintenance and troubleshooting. Ideal for start-stop logic, interlock, and safety-related conditions like uh, start-stop conditions, like we have a network here. And of course, easy to monitor online because you can see which contacts are active. Because of this, ladder logic is still the most used language in industrial automation, especially on the shop floor. And of course, the SCL language, the second one here, is a high-level text-based programming language. It's similar to languages like Python, Pascal, or as structured programming in general. Instead of drawing logics, you write instruction using if, else if, loop, or functions. This makes SCL very powerful for calculations, data handling, complex conditions, and reusable codes. Uh, the typical strengths of SCL, this is compact and struct code, very powerful for math, arrays, and data processing, easier to scale and maintain in a large project. SCL allows you to express complex logic in a clear and organized way that would be difficult or very long in ladder logic. So, at the conclusion of this explanation, um, you would guess, so, and both of the languages we can write process, right? But which one is the better? Which one is the best? So the answer, one language is not better than another. They serve different purposes, but they are never better, right? Because you can do both actions with the same with both of them, with the same action with both of them. But of course, personally I prefer SCL because SCL is more like written language, right? You see, and it's, for me it's more understandable, it's more clear. uh, and ladder logic is excellent for machines control and troubleshooting, that is no doubt. While SCL is, for example, very useful for complex logic. When for the calculation, it's a perfect language to use, and also a struct algorithm. This language SCL is very powerful language, and also and 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 nowadays, so recent nowadays, in the real industrial projects, both languages are often used together. Ladder is used where uh, clarity and diagnostics are important, and SCL is used where logic becomes complex. But again, a good PLC programmer does not choose a language. They choose the right language for the right problem. And of course, understanding both ladder logic and SCL makes you more flexible, more professional, and better prepared for real industrial automation projects. And I prefer both of them, but SCL I do prefer a lot. I think this language, SCL language, can do more, and it's more compatible. It's more. This is for me an advanced language. I used to program in this language. I am programming in this language, and I shall program and in the future in this language. So I prefer this also for every subscribers to use this language. In the past video, we have also added some um, the timer status, and also the actual time, and also the counting, and not here. So here we have used one move block here to copy the value of start count to our output, to this variable, right? In SCL, it's different way. That's why I prefer. So we have the start count, right? In SCL, we just start equals to start count. Here we declare a variable output. Where is this one? Runtime. It's integer. It was an integer, right? Runtime. Start count. This should be our start count. Start count integer, and runtime actual time. Actual time should be time, right? In SCL, it's very, very easy. So this variable start count count 1 equals to start count. Done. And now where is our timer? which value do we use here? 10 seconds. And this actual time equals to we choose which one? This one. Done. You see, in SCL it's more easier, right? The comparison is very. I like this language. Okay. Start count. No. Start count 1 and actual time. We again download our PLC. Okay, this one we have tested already, and now we are going to test the SCL programming language. So I start my motor, start. The time, this is a lot, right? It should count only 1, 2, 3, not because we have given when, let me start count. Yes, you see, when until the start button is pushed, it's counting. But it should count only 1. Let me go back to off. Um, yes, for here we need to use and not stop instead of if we I think here this button should not be temporary, it should be here. Let me now add here, yeah, and now and normally it should work as yes, when it's temporary it's okay, yeah, we are right. Okay, okay, when I start, yes, you see 1 I stop. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the start count 1, it was a temporary variable. A temporary variable loses its value in every PLC cycle. So that's why when every cycle it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It doesn't stop. It comes true and false, true and false. That's why it loses and it takes, it loses and it takes. So when we are using a temporary variable, so we need to use a rising age detection. False. Otherwise, it fails to recognize one, to count one by one. Okay, but there will be in the future a video about every disparate function block, about this part, the input, output, in and out, static, temporary, and constant. We talk about all of them, right? So I thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope you have enjoyed and learned something out of this video. Like and share and subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much. Have a great day.